Hello and welcome to this podcast edition of Sam's Alternatives. Episode 22, I'll be chatting to Alex and Tom from Launceston Alt Rock band Drenched. Great chat. I've met these guys before. Of course, they played a couple of gigs in in Melbourne last year. All right, we've got both Tom and Alex waiting, so I will let both of them in, and let's get this interview started. Take two. All right, just give me one second. Hello?
There we go.
Perfect.
We're in.
I don't know what happened, literally, Tom. Technology. Who knows?
Oh, that's all right. I was waiting for another, I was waiting to get accepted into the lobby. That's why I was just sitting there.
Okay. All right. Well, now Alex's thing is on mute, so now it's just...
Sorry, I had to switch my audio to my headphones, not my phone.
All right. Hey, technology, even me. How many episodes? 22 episodes of these, and I still fuck up something on my end. Don't worry.
Technology, it'll always fail us. Technology is stupid.
Can we just have a day where the technology works every single time? Just no issues? Nah, I like Alex's nodding on his end saying that ain't gonna happen, Sam. Dream on.
No chance. No
Every
chance.
Well, it's awesome to see Alex and Tom over WebEx. Now, obviously, I have met Alex and Tom a couple of times when you guys were in Melbourne last year. I was saying to Alex, it's June last year you guys were here.
Yeah, we've been over a couple of times since then. I think we came over in August and November as well. We went over a lot last year, more than we should have. Those flights are cheap.
But I love Drenched. One of my favourite finds the last 5 years. You're in my top 20 finds the last 5 years easily.
Fuck yeah, I'll take that.
Brother.
Let's go.
And I was just saying, obviously, Shylocks and Drenched are touring parts of Australia in September, which is going to be awesome. Playing the Toad on the 18th of September. If anyone's in Melbourne at that time, get down.
Yep.
It's gonna be
Come and
good.
get really weird. Come and
Yeah.
get super weird.
Yeah, first show over the pond for the year.
Yeah, and not our last either.
Nah. Oh, okay. So, yeah.
Foreshadowing.
But Shylocks are an interesting band because I only heard of them once that tour got announced, actually. I was like, okay, so who is this Shylocks? Obviously heard of Drenched, but I love discovering bands that I haven't heard of, and then it's like Shylocks and Drenched. I'm like, alright, now I've got to check out this other band because Drenched are fucking awesome. This band's got to be the same, surely.
Yeah, Charlotte's are pretty cool. I feel like I don't know if they're a new, I think they might be a new-ish band. I'm not really too sure on their history, but I feel like they're going pretty under the radar.
Yeah, I think they used to play together a few years ago, but they just started getting back into it in the last year or so. Yeah.
Yeah, because they got the families and the wifeys and everything like that, so they're
little kidlets.
Full true blue bloody adults.
And of course, kids and families and weddings, marriages, they take up a lot of time when you're in a band, and a lot of... Not that I know anything about...
I was going to say, Tom and I are both planning weddings that are 2 weeks apart from each other in November this year.
Oh, okay.
Because, as band members, we have to do everything together. So that includes getting married.
Yep. It's actually a joint wedding over 2 weeks.
Yep.
So
2 weeks of partying.
and
two weeks of stressing for
2 weeks. Oh, yeah.
2 weeks of stressing, and given how quickly this fucking year's going, it's like, oh my god, it's November in 5 months.
Yeah, don't say that, Sam. Yeah, 5 more sleeps.
Actually, I probably should inform Tom. Swearing is allowed. I've informed Alex. Swearing's allowed. Sam's a potty mouth, as we've already heard a couple in this
I don't fucking
5-minute
swear.
bracket.
No, Tom doesn't swear. He's actually he's taken a vow of silence because he is just not a rude boy.
Fuck no.
That's about the response I was thinking was going to happen, Tom. When Alex said that, I'm waiting for get fucked or fuck no or something in those.
No, we're from Tasmania. We don't give a shit.
Nah, fuck him. Fuck him. Who needs it?
Where's a swear jar? I felt like if I had a jar next to me, we should put $1 in every time we swear on this.
Oh, that'd pay for the weddings.
It would.
Pay for the Bucks night at least, I reckon. Well,
Hell
depending
yeah.
on what the Bucks night is, but
Many petties all around, boys. Many petties.
Oof.
uh,
Getting ourselves did.
Yeah.
So of course, as mentioned, Alex and Tom, vocalists, guitarists. Well, you're both actually vocalists and guitarists in, of course, alt rock band from Launceston, Tassie, Drenched. For those that are wondering who I'm talking to, I did mention Drenched, but if you're late to the party, then obviously I just mentioned it there.
Yeah, boy. Welcome to the party. Let's go.
Yeah.
Also, it's Launceston,
Okay.
not Launceston.
All right.
It's spelt Launceston, but it's pronounced Launceston, like long without the G.
Is this a Newcastle thing? Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah. It's a Melbourne thing.
yeah.
Or Melbourne, as the Yanks call it.
Melbourne.
Now stopping at Craigieburn.
Oh, the amount of people that say Cranbourne or Melbourne, and I'm like, no, it's not born, it's burn.
Yeah. Melbourne.
So I had an interesting question because there's a town in Victoria called Castlemaine, and we're told to call Newcastle. So what do we call Castlemaine here in Victoria?
Castle Magnay.
Yeah. Well, that's what I thought, but obviously it's Castlemaine. But anyway, enough geography for this interview.
We've all learned enough already.
I can imagine it's very cold where both Drenched and Sam are at the moment because Warrigal is freezing, but Alex has told me it's 4 degrees in...
Yeah, that's not that cold.
No!
No, it's pretty mild at the moment. I think we've only got -1 overnight, maybe.
Yeah, that's pretty civilized, really.
Yeah, it's pretty toasty.
Mm.
It's still cold, but...
I was in Brisbane last week, and it was like 17 degrees, and they were getting around with their coats on. I was like, oh, precious little flowers think it's cold below 20 degrees.
Oh, I won't swim unless it's 35 degrees.
Mm.
I find it funny, and this happened a few times when I went to Unify in Gippsland. Queenslanders or Sydney-siders, some of them thought, it's summer in Victoria, we'll come with shorts and a singlet and thongs. And then they get there, and it's like 15 degrees and raining.
You got to be prepared for everything, always.
Yeah. Especially in Victoria. 4 seasons in one day. I mean,
If you don't like it, come back in 5 minutes.
I love that menacing face that you pulled when you said that. That was brilliant.
shit. Oh my
It's a
god.
rural face.
And this is what I love about WebEx. For so long, it was the audio one, but now I can see Alex and Tom's facial expressions when they say something, and Tom's face then was just priceless.
That's a screenshotter.
Oh, screenshot, sorry, yeah. I don't know what I'm on about. I talk shit, if you haven't noticed, on this YouTube channel.
Man, if you were at a Drenched band practice, you would not be able to understand a fucking thing that we are saying to each other because it is just nonsense. Like we're very, I guess, fluent in nonsense. So
talk a lot of smack.
Yeah.
In amongst getting the job done.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Well, I could imagine getting the job done is the most important thing. The banter and the nonsense is the fun side of it. Because if you're serious all the time at band practice, doesn't make it much fun.
No, not really. No, I hate it when Dad's serious.
Neither of us are dad for context.
No. I don't think anyone really is Dad. I think we're all Dad.
Dad's just like the deity of Drenched. He hovers above us, keeping an eye on us. Can't upset Dad.
No, I'm at Dad's house.
Yeah, gotta go to Dad's house.
Nonsense.
Oh my god, keep it together, Sam. Oh my god. Anyway, so pretty much a rundown of what this chat is about, Alex and Tom. It's not even an interview. Well, it is in some sense, but it's just a general chat. We talk a lot of shit, find out a bit about the band. Then at the end, and this is the fun part, Tom and Alex have the floor. They get to ask Sam a hard-hitting question.
Oh, wow.
Look out.
Oh, shit. You asked the wrong people, man.
It's okay. I've been asked some pretty weird shit, Alex, so I think I can safely say I've heard it all, but now you said that, I'm a bit like, uh-oh. What have I got myself into?
I hope you like riddles.
Also, this episode will be uploaded probably late tomorrow morning, depending how quickly YouTube wants to upload it. Sometimes it takes 2 minutes, and other times it's like 1 hour left to upload. I'm like, oh my god, come on.
Come on, brother.
So I'll say about 10 a.m. I think that gives it enough time to upload. So I'll watch it back after this. If there's nothing wrong with it, which interviews never are any issues, I'll upload it tomorrow morning. And Drenched have a few songs on the Spotify local playlist as well that I'll upload tomorrow, Arvo.
Hell yeah. Thanks, brother. That's awesome.
Daisystompers, Pink Cellophane, and I've gone blank what the third one was. That's really bad. Where's Spotify now?
I decided.
No, it wasn't Student Friday. I reckon it was off that album, but I don't think it was.
Limbo, mate.
Yeah, I'll have to look, but you're on there anyway, so.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, how did Drenched form as a band?
I'll let you take this one, Tom, because I don't know.
Oh, the history of Drenched goes back many years. No, Joseph and I have known each other since high school, and we've always played music together. We had a couple of bands before Drenched. One was one that we wrote for, another one we just played in. But we had a heap of material for the one that we wrote music for, Pop Noise Cyber it was called. Had a heap of material that we never used for that because the wheels fell off that band. So we just sort of started playing again. And getting this new material organized. And then Joseph asked Alex to jump on the guitar, which turned out all right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still pretty iffy on the guys.
Not sure if he's the right fit for us. Like
I'm gonna keep trying,
but
yeah.
And then we got a previous bassist Lucas on board, and he left the band at the end of last year, and now we've got Glenn playing bass. So yeah,
because when I looked at the Triple J Unearthed page for Drenched, I'm like Alex, Tom, Joseph, Glenn. I'm like, thought it was Lucas, but then obviously Tom just answered that question.
Yeah.
Just to say
yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, new bass player. Yeah, that's it. That's good.
Things happen. Yeah.
And did you previously know Glenn?
Yeah. Well, I've also known Glenn for a long time. We've played music together in the past as well. He actually lives in Hobart, but he's come up to Launceston for a year for work. So I thought we'd get him involved,
Mm.
and he has slotted in nicely.
Oh goodness, yes, yes. There is now 4 vocalists in the band, so that's pretty huge.
Mm.
I'm trying to think of a band off the top of my head that has 4 vocalists. I don't think.
Drenched.
Well, outside of Drenched, I was meaning.
Oh, there's got to be some.
There's a few that I know that have 3 of the 4 that are vocalists or can do vocals.
I reckon there's a few choirs that have more than 4.
Oh, yeah.
I reckon you're right. Yeah, or a few
Yeah.
quartets would definitely have four singers.
Oh yes.
Barbershop quartets.
Yes.
We can now do if we want.
It's actually my most listened to type of music for this year. Just barbershop quartet covers of the Lion King soundtrack.
I honestly don't know what my most listened to band style of music song is yet of 2025.
I can absolutely name mine straight off the bat. No hesitation. There's this Swedish metal band that I've been listening to for a few years called Viljata, and they've basically just made their own genre of heavy music called thal, and the loose translation for thal is music that makes you uncomfortable, and they do a very, very, very good job of that, and it's super interesting to listen to. Yeah, they just dropped like an hour-long album of just pure Swedish nonsense. So check it out if you're daring. I very much compare them to Coriander. A lot of people love them, and a lot of people hate them. So, you know.
That is a very interesting comparison. Them to Coriander, a herb.
It's so true, though. It's so true.
You got me puzzled now, Alex. I got to check them out after this. I just got to check it out.
You might like it. I hope you do. But if you don't, that's okay because they're fucking weird.
Well, some bands in Australia old classes, or not weird, but just different to a lot of the music I would listen to. Like, I mean, King Gizzard's a perfect example of that, and I mean, who the fuck knows what style of music King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard is, but it's just...
Oh, man. They've done everything, haven't they? They're just absolute maniacs when it comes to writing music.
What sort of music are you into, Tom, outside of Drenched, obviously?
Some of my own music. Oh, well, Sam, that's a pretty big question. No, I've been listening to a lot of Bill Murray because I just saw him last week.
Represent.
Represent. They're pretty awesome. Their new album rocks. Other than that, I've been getting into this band called Curve, who are they're like 90s shoegaze meets like industrial, almost like house music, I guess, from like 90s house. It's really cool. So I've been giving them a fair old sesh. Getting into some lesser known 90s bands like them, and another band called Feline. They're pretty cool. I've also been smashing Trauma Ray's new album. So if you like shoegaze, then listen to that because it's kick ass.
Yeah, Trauma Ray are awesome.
Yeah. Chameleon, it's called. It's real good.
This is what I love, being a podcaster and that. Just finding bands that other people suggest or find through Spotify or Bandcamp, whatever the platform may be.
YouTube, actually, I find a lot of my new music from YouTube pushing random video clips on me.
Well, and also I think, I don't want to rat out Spotify because that's what I've done for the last 12 months, but...
Go on.
Fuck 'em.
I think Spotify, and this is what I've heard, I don't know if it's 100% accurate or it's just someone trying to throw them under the bus, but a lot of what Spotify puts up, they say, this band is something you'll like, and then you'll enjoy this band that they recommend. But sometimes it's not even the same style of music or same sort of genre. And you think, well, Spotify paid billions of dollars to have this streaming service up. If you're going to have a service that says, oh, enjoy this band, listen to this band, actually make sure it's the right band that's connected to that genre. That's just my thought, anyway.
Yeah, I'm with you, Sam. I have a lot to say about Spotify that I won't say about Spotify, but you know what? It makes me listen to music, and that's good.
I think that's the key thing, and I think for those that weren't born, say, pre 2000, a lot of people think, oh, Spotify, 30 years ago, or, we were easily able to find music. Now, show my age here, who's nearly 40, I can still remember the old Discman Walkman days, the CD singles. I mean, that's how old Sam is.
Man, I had a Walkman up until I was probably about 16 years old. I was always listening to CDs on the go. I had it stuffed in my pocket, ripping my pants because it's so fucking huge.
No, it's I think I changed the CD once a week in my Discman, and it was always the same 3 or 4 albums. It never changed. It was like, let's listen to this band. Now tomorrow's the next band, and yeah, it just
And you had your CD folder where you kept all your CDs.
yes. Oh, the old CD folder.
Yeah.
Remember the ones you had when you had, like, if you were going somewhere on a road trip or somewhere, you had that sleeve of CDs that you could just put in and take a certain amount. Oh, we've got a cat on screen too. Oh, lucky this isn't Friday the 13th, Alex. That might have been a bit of a superstition. Because
Yeah, he's a creepy cat. He's a creepy cat, man.
So yeah, we've got 4 people on the
Yep.
WebEx.
He won't talk much. He's pretty shy.
No animals around here, unfortunately. Some of the neighbours. No, no, shit. I hope they don't watch that after that comment. Warrigal. No, they're pretty good people in Warrigal. Neighbours are good too, so yeah.
Good. That's all you can ask for.
It is. And a regional town, I mean, even though Warrigal's technically no longer a regional town of Melbourne, because it's literally only about an hour and a half from the city, and we're almost an outer suburb, so...
That sounds pretty fucking regional to me. Jesus, that's rural as fuck.
Yeah.
Drive off the edge of Tasmania if you went for an hour and a half.
Fucking nice. Mate, you could fucking drive around the whole place and get back home for dinner in an hour and a half.
Wouldn't even need to pack lunch.
Just get it on the road, mate. Go to Mood Food and Kenton.
Yeah. Get your horse and cart out. Off you go.
And we're off, boys.
Yep.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, alright, it is rural then. But, but then again, Craigieburn almost. Like, Warrigal's the same distance as Craigieburn, nearly, to Melbourne. So,
Yeah,
but,
right.
Anyway, enough geography.
You're gonna start a new podcast. It's gonna be Sam Warner's geography lessons, and I'm gonna fucking listen. I need to know.
Yeah, Sam and geography is not a good mix. So,
as long as you're not directionally challenged, you'll be okay.
Yeah, well, that's true. But yeah, I think I'll stick to the music podcast for the moment, Alex.
Good work.
How did you come up with the band name Drenched?
I think neither of us really had much input. It was Joseph. He just suggested it, and we were like, "Yep, that's good." The idea, behind it is, we try to create a sort of music that is drenched in reverb and effects and shit.
and slippery riffs. You can't
Yeah.
forget slippery riffs.
Yeah, like if you touch
Yeah,
the
I
riff,
think-
your hand would come away drenched. That sort of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all our merch is sold pre-drenched, so it comes pre-wetted for everyone's enjoyment. So
Yeah.
Okay, that's
I think it was. I feel like it was just a word that someone said, and we were all kind of like, "That's pretty cool." Like
Yeah,
that's a
that
cool
works.
band name. Yeah.
Yep. It's
and
also the same name as a band from like a black metal band from Sweden.
oh,
Nah,
okay.
surely it's not a black metal from Sweden. I thought they were from like UK. They were like some new grunge kind of thing. It's kind of cool to be honest.
Both. It's a common enough name. There's a few, but none of them are that popular except us.
Got him.
Got him.
So we won't have a Vanilla Ice case where you've stolen a band's name or a part of a song.
No, but I think
ours.
on one of the apps, I think it's Last FM. If you search Drenched, like our music is bunched in with this Swedish black metal band's music as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are they well known? This
I don't
Swedish...
think so. No.
Oh, okay.
I hadn't heard of them.
I'm going to listen to them after this and see what it's like.
Be funny if you got an email just saying, "Hey, we're called Drenched. Drenched play with Drenched on a gig." Not that.
Yeah, we should collab.
Yeah, and get the other Drenched from the UK, so we have like the trio.
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be fucking crazy.
So the gig actual poster would just say Drenched ×3. It wouldn't have like
Drenched used.
I reckon poster art and poster tours, like, there's some really good ones, and I reckon the best thing about these poster tours is it's sort of, the artwork looks so well done, like, and if it's done properly, it actually really mesmerizes you, because you're like, oh wow, this looks like a sick lineup or band. Let's go check them out.
It's like the artwork draws you in, and then you just go, "What's this about?" And you see the band names, you're like, "Hey, these guys like cool art. Maybe they do cool art. Who knows?"
But no, that's interesting about the band name. I'm starting to get a few people that have said that they've had their band name has been connected with another band from overseas, or have come close to having the same name. So I'm surprised there's not more really out there.
It's pretty hard to be original these days. Like, come up with a truly original band name unless it's just something really weird.
Yeah,
I can't think of any examples, but
I
like,
can think of one.
okay,
My example for a weird original band name is Tom.
just Tom.
Just Tom.
Okay.
That is weird. Yep.
There you go. That's pretty original.
I've got to say, the only band I know that has Tom in it is the Mike Patton side project, Peeping Tom, if they're even still a thing.
True.
But yeah, I don't think that's copyright, because that's peeping. If you'd called your band Peeping Tom, then that'd be technically copyright.
Then fucking watch out.
Call ourselves Tom and the Peepers. There you go. There you go. Ooh.
Or like Tom : peeping.
Question mark.
Tom peeping.
Peeping?
Yeah, that could be taken wrong on so many levels, that, if the band name was that. Nah. Well, the story of how I came across Drenched. Well, I love answering this when I find a band, but I think it might have been a Sword Bros Spotify thing, maybe, or it was a Tasmanian playlist of some sort on Spotify, and that's where I found Drenched. I found, like, yeah, the obvious ones like Luca Brasi, Sword Bros, Offset Vision, etc. And then Drenched came up, and I'm like, because at that stage I hadn't heard of Drenched. I'm like, all right. Tassie seems to have produced some really good music. I mean, Luca Brasi, Alpha Wolf, even though Melburnians try to take Alpha Wolf from you.
Look, mate, they came from Northwest. They'll stay in Northwest.
Yeah.
I tell
They
you.
came from Bernie.
Yeah.
Why does Melbourne do that? They take Wind Waker from Wagga Wagga. They take Alpha Wolf from Tassie. It's like Tassie's nowhere near Melbourne.
It's because you can play a show in Melbourne and almost guarantee at least someone will come.
Yeah, okay. Fair point, but still, I mean...
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Launceston. You're good.
But no, I think anyone that knows Alpha Wolf knows that they're originally from Burnie in Tasmania, and that is what it says. They're not Melbourne. I mean...
Nah, they're our boys. They're our gods.
They've talk about bands that have shot up in the scene. I mean, with Parkway Drive's a good example, but fuck, Alpha Wolf aren't far off that.
They are fucking taking over the world. It is unreal to see. It's really, really cool.
Mm.
We have a really big group chat for the Tasmanian like musicians and stuff like that and artists. And Sabian and John from Alpha Wolf are a part of that, and they really quite regularly offer a lot of advice to us, like small local bands and stuff, just to try and, I guess, push a bit more reach and, you know, do some more social networking and stuff like that. It's really cool that the guys are still really just humble and still with their roots and everything like that, and not just letting it go to their heads and shit. So, big ups to the Alpha Wolf guys. They're legends.
Very valid point there too about the success and that not going to your head, like, because some bands, not so much Australian bands I haven't found, but some international bands think, once we're Bring Me the Horizon status or Architects or Foo Fighters or whoever they are, they think, all right, it's all about us now. And yeah, I think a lot of the Aussie bands here in Australia that are starting to make a name for themselves, like Alpha Wolf and Polaris and Thornhill and that, I think they're still very humble and are always there to give bands advice, because at the end of the day, they were a local up-and-coming band at some stage.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, it's really nice to see people just still being super supportive while they're basically fucking world famous. You know, they're still the same humble people that I met fucking, I don't even know. Be 12 years ago, I reckon I met all the Apple guys. I used to do gigs with them when I had a metalcore band back in college. So that was pretty cool. Started like doing stuff when they started to just, you know, I guess put their feelers out there and whatnot in Tassie, and now seeing them just doing everything's fucking sweet.
And not only that, making fucking awesome music as well.
Yeah, nice tea.
What was that band called before Alpha Wolf? Was it Anguish, or is that something else?
Yeah, it was Anguish.
Yeah.
And they were taking Tassie by storm. They did a lot of shows.
They're playing everywhere.
Murder. They had some massive supports, and it's funny because that was when Sabian, the guitarist for Alpha, was the drummer for Anguish, and he was fucking skits. It was unreal watching him play.
Yes, so all the hard work pays off, and I mean, if you put 110% into it, I think now, more than any time, is probably the best time to be an Australian band or artist, because, as I mentioned, I mean, Alpha Wolf, North Lane, Polaris, they're all not just killing it here in Australia, but they're killing it overseas. I mean...
Yeah, it's unreal. It's awesome. Fuck yeah, Australia, we're the best.
I honestly don't know who the next big thing is, honestly, which is probably a good thing.
I reckon it's this small Tassie band from Launceston called Drenched, honestly. I've been hearing some of their like demos and stuff like that for new music, and it sounds pretty groundbreaking, you know? It's a super immersive experience.
Hey, if Psychroptic and Alpha Wolf can do it from Tassie, anyone can.
Fuck yeah. and it won't be us.
It would be interesting though, like if in 5 years' time it's like Drenched take over the world. It's like,
That's what the tour would be called.
Yeah.
and then we'd look back on this interview and Alex says, "Oh, Drenched are going to be the next big thing," and everyone be like, "He said it."
Yeah, this would be like the introduction to the Drenched documentary would be this interview.
I've actually got a film crew right over here. Imagine.
The film crew and a cat in the bedroom. That's
sounds like a pretty standard night at Alex's.
Yeah, it's Tuesday night. The film crew's coming over. Yeah.
There's not much crew happening here in Warrigal. It's literally me, myself, and I. So.
Yeah, no, I'm all alone as well. My family, my fiance and the sister and everything are all playing pool in our barn. So, I mean, I'm happy with this because I'm fucking warm and they won't be. So.
Well, I'm loving this. Time's going a little bit too quickly, but that's a good thing, generally.
It's been very enjoyable so far. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Now, that's not to say Sam's like, "Oh no, let's end it now." That wasn't what
all right, good chat, boys. See you later.
This is no, that wasn't what I was implying, by the way. That was more like, this generally happens. You think, "Oh, you've only been talking for 5 minutes," and then look up at the time on the screen, it's like 30 minutes. Like, where the fuck did that 30 minutes go?
Yeah, no, and I've moved around so much as well in 30 minutes. Like, fucking hell.
But nah, I won't try and attempt to move around the room. It might look a bit weird when the host is sort of moving around. And because I'm all plugged in, my laptop's charging and microphone, if I take it out, it turns it off. So obviously I'll stay put where I am.
Yeah, fair call. Fair call.
All right.
And I too will stay in the gaming chair.
I'm just on a plain old brown chair behind me, nothing exciting.
Those brown chairs, they do some good things, I tell you.
All right, what has the response been like for both the live EP released earlier this year and Daisystompers?
I think people have liked it.
Yeah, we did. The live set was something a bit different. Not a lot of bands that sort of, on our rung of the fame ladder have sort of done a live EP with an accompanying video. So that was a cool experiment for us. And yeah, we've received some pretty good feedback about it. Looks great, sounds great, is great. Yeah, Daisystompers is sorry.
I said, looks great, sounds great. Can I borrow your hand?
Yeah. Daisystompers has been out for a while now, and yeah, I think people like that because it's one of our more aggressive, stompy sort of tracks.
Yeah. There's a really good story behind Daisystompers.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. A very good story.
Do you want me to tell it?
Fine, I'll tell the story.
Go on, man.
You convinced me. So I'm pretty sure it was one of our annual Christmas shows that we used to put on quite regularly in Launceston. It was a couple of years ago. And it was a fucking awesome night. It was really good. The turnout was amazing. The bands that played was sick. We had a great set and everything like that. And everyone's just really jolly and having a great time. And Joseph's sitting at the merch desk. And I went over to him just to say g'day because I hadn't seen him in a while and I missed him. I missed him. And I'm like, how you going? He goes, can you man the table? I need to piss. Watch these two blokes next to me, though, because they've been trying to steal merch. And I'm like, oh, no worries. I was about 9 rums deep, so I was ready to go. And so old mate comes past, and he snatches a sticker and runs off into the crowd. And then he comes back, and then he tries to take a beanie. I'm just like, hey, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm just messing around. I'm like, oh, my bandmate said that you guys have been trying to steal shit from us. I would be really appreciative if that didn't happen because we've worked really hard to get to this point. We've poured our hearts and our money and everything into what we're doing, and you're just kind of fucking with us. So let's just leave it there and have a good night. And then he starts arcing up at me. He's like, what do you fucking steal shit? he's full of shit and all this stuff. I'm like, okay, so my bandmate told me this, so that means you're doing it. So stop doing it. And it kept going and going and going. And he starts pushing at me and pushing at me. And then I, 9 runs in, I got a bit yelly and I started screaming this guy down and he's screaming back at me. And then Joseph comes over my shoulder and then his mate comes over and then Tom comes over and then Joseph's girlfriend comes over and then Tom's girlfriend comes over. And they're just like doing this one, pointing each other, pushing. And they got kicked out because they were being absolute knobs. Fuck you if you ever see this, you dogs. Thanks for the good material though. And I got home that night and I couldn't calm down because I don't do altercations or conflicts, so I was pretty razzed up after that. And I just put all of my anger into like a spoken word poem, I guess, that I wrote, and I sent it to the guys the next day. I'm like, there's a song in here, and I'm pretty sure within like 48 hours, Tom sends back a full band demo of what the song was going to be. And it's like, yeah, brother, let's go. This is the best.
Yeah, it really wrote itself at that point.
Yeah. So, if anyone's out there and they want to mess with Drenched, be prepared to be put into a song that
We'll
goes
write a
hard.
diss track about you.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not ever going to mention you at all, but you know it's about you.
But hello, literally. Like,
just silly buggers. That's all it was. It was just silly buggers.
I think it's safe to say they had a few too many sherbets
Yes.
that night.
They had a couple of bloody shandies too many.
Yes.
but
And they were in no fit state.
no.
So we got them kicked out.
And a diss track was written.
And a diss track was written.
Yeah.
We should play that soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. It's in the set. Awesome. Let's go.
Sick.
Well, yeah, I'm a huge fan, and now I'm even more of a fan of Daisystompers. But now knowing the backstory of Daisystompers, I'm like, oh fuck, I like it even more now than before.
Yeah, it was definitely an experience that we won't ever forget, but it was really funny. So
yeah, in hindsight, it was actually hilarious.
Yes.
And we got a really good song out of it. So
yeah. It got a bit scary though when you saw Joseph's girlfriend flying over everybody to like take one of these guys down.
Yeah,
like she's just vicious. She just fucking smashed him. So that was awesome.
Well, I mean, yeah, partners and obviously your friends, but I don't know why people do it. Like, I think it's almost the lowest thing you could do at a live gig.
Well, I think... Oh, sorry, you go.
Almost crowd killing versus merch being stole. No,
Yeah.
I think merch being stole is worse than crowd killing. Sorry to say.
I can definitely think of worse things to do at gigs, but stealing merch is really bad, so don't do it.
So the guy's angle was... Because we hadn't sold much merch at that stage for the night. So his angle was that if he was selling the merch, he would have sold it all by now. Which in his hazy, drunken, boomery mind meant that he was allowed to steal it from us.
Okay, that's pretty warped.
Yeah. He took his shirt off at one point as well.
Yeah, I think he was in the right. I think he did the right thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Nah, that was fun.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
Shit happens. Eat cheese.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Daisystompers easily one of my favourites. It actually polled in last year's end of year countdown that I did too. It was
Sick.
Now, fuck, what was the number? It was somewhere in the top 100. 58,
That's
59.
awesome.
Where the fuck's my list of songs? I don't know. It was somewhere in the top 100. I think it only missed out just on the top 50. So it was like maybe 55, 54.
Nice.
That's brilliant.
That's awesome.
Awesome, man.
Thank you.
Thanks. That's the hottest 100. I want Sam Horner's hottest 100. Let's go.
Someone said that. They're like, oh, this is like way better than any Triple J hottest 100.
I'm going to call something else now. Sam Horner takes over fucking Australian music radio. You wait. You wait.
Okay. I'd love to be on Triple J. Fortunately, there's a certain person that plays the same music as I do named Jack Burgin from 4 Division who does a fucking awesome job. And yeah, I mean, I love I love 4 Division, obviously, but ever since he's taken over that program, obviously can't listen to it tonight because I got more important things on.
Of course.
E.g., interviewing Tom and Alex from Drenched. Sorry, Jack, if you ever watch this, but
I'm sure he'll understand.
But yeah, Triple J the last few years, some of those hottest 100 songs that missed out. I mean, last year, no Alpha Wolf. I mean,
yeah. No, I can't listen to the hottest 100s anymore. Like ever since, like I know it's about music and just art and in general everything like that, but I kind of feel like it just needs to stay within the bounds of Australia, not worldwide releases and everything like that. Like I don't think I've listened for a fair few years now, just for that reason alone. It's not shit music, but it's not the music that I personally would like to hear in the hottest 100.
Some of it's shit music, though.
Some of it is shit music.
Like, what is this whole Dom Dollar and like, what's the name that the one that Paint the Town Red song? Oh, Doja Cat. Like, I can't get into Doja Cat. Everyone's like, oh, she's so talented. I'm like, it's just.
I think a lot of like TikTok songs have got into the hottest 100 because people who vote in the hottest 100 don't necessarily actually listen to Triple J. They just vote in the hottest 100 and they vote for their favorite TikTok songs, and so get hundreds of thousands of people doing that, and it's definitely going to shift the statistics in the favor of TikTok songs that might not even actually have been played more than once or twice throughout the year.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's my statistical analysis anyway.
Because it was a few years ago, I reckon. I can't even remember what year it was. It might have been like 2018, 2019. Whenever Chemical Miracle came out by Trophy Eyes and Chlorine missed out. And it came in at 101. I'm like, how the hell can Chlorine not be in the best songs of that year when Trophy Eyes, that album in itself, could have had any number of songs in the hottest 100?
Yeah, it was a fucking sick album.
It's a good album. That was their breakout album, surely. Yeah.
And I don't even know what my favourite song off that album is. Look, I love Chlorine, but I think because I've listened to it so many times, it's sort of like, yeah, maybe it's not my favourite song now. I think Breathe You In, probably, maybe.
I haven't. I've got it somewhere, a copy of it, but I haven't listened to it for a while. But it's a good album.
The album after I didn't mind either. The American Dream with like You Can Count on Me and Friday Forever and that.
Yeah, they lost me a bit there. I didn't dig that as much.
What has happened to Trophy Eyes? They released More and then just...
They are touring, I think. Maybe.
Everyone else seems to be, so...
Yeah, that's right, yep. Jump on the bandwagon, but don't come to Tassie.
Nothing wrong with Tassie.
Apparently we don't have what it takes to house international acts.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty fair enough, though, because, like, statistically, it does cost touring acts a lot to get down to Tassie because they got to get all of their shit onto the Spirit of Tasmania, sail across the Bass Strait, come into Devonport, and then take all of their shit down south to Hobart because they're not going to play in Launceston. And then they got to come back 2.5 hours, 3 hours to get back on the fucking boat to go back to the mainland. Like, it's a lot of money to get all of that shit across just for, like, one show. Unless you're selling 200,000 tickets, which I don't think would ever happen ever in Tasmania. That's like
that's like half the population.
Yeah. Unless they're doing that, then it's unfortunately it is pretty shit for touring acts. But if Yeah,
Not
yeah,
yeah, we get a few come down, but you'll see a uh Australian band next tour, and you're like, oh, cool. And then you look at the places they're going, and it's everywhere but Tasmania. And you're like, sick.
thanks.
There's only so many Jetstar flights you can pay for a year.
Well, also WA misses out on a lot as well. Like you
Yeah,
hear
that's
the
true.
yeah, but
That's on them for being so far away, though.
yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know how far Melbourne to Perth is. It's a fucking long way, though.
Further than Melbourne to
Long
Auckland.
Yeah.
enough.
It's closer to fly from fucking Melbourne to Auckland than it is
Yeah.
Melbourne to Perth. I
I
find
think
that
it's cheaper
interesting.
too.
That's unreal.
It's like 3.5 hours to Auckland, or one of the New Zealand cities. I don't know if it's Auckland or Wellington, but one of the main cities is, yeah, about 3.5 hours.
That's nuts as. Stop traveling.
But
Just
the
walk
only
everywhere.
the only thing is, when you go to New Zealand, you've got to think 2 hours ahead, not 2 hours behind. So,
Yeah.
They're in the future.
mm. There is some fucking good music coming out of New Zealand as well, and Tassie, and sorry, and Perth for that matter, and Tasmania.
And Tassie, yeah.
Yeah,
Represent.
Re-
Represent.
represent. There's a lot of good bands coming out of Victoria, but that's another topic for another day. Because there's not enough time to mention all of them. Because there's a fuckload of them.
Oh fuck yeah.
Oh, best review / feedback yourself or the band has received.
Mum really liked the album. So that was encouraging. Um, I don't know. To be honest, I'm very much one of those people that strays away from remembering a lot of feedback and like constructive criticism and stuff because very cliche. It makes me feel fucking weird. It's just like, hey, I'm just a guy doing some thing. Like, please don't idolize me. Like, it makes me self-conscious, I think. Um, I don't know. Like, I just get the job done and then go have a cigarette and breathe. To be honest, because my ADHD just goes fucking wild after shows. So I just have to kind of stay in my own realm and not take on too much info because I get overwhelmed very easily. Um, but yeah, we definitely had a lot of good feedback about a lot of songs and pretty much all the gigs we've played. Um, so as long as it's at least one person saying, "Hey, that was cool," then you know what, I'm fucking happy with it. Nothing else matters.
I like hearing like punters come up to us after the show and compare us to bands they like. It's like, oh, that bit sounded like Deftones or Narrowhead or Hum or whatever. It's like, yeah, cool. That's what we're going for. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like, no way. You think that? We wrote it like that. Like, you should listen
You
more.
get it. You get it.
Yeah, support us.
Because on your Spotify thing, always in the info thing, and I saw some of the bands that you were compared to, and one sort of, I can now sort of understand what they meant by it, but at the time didn't, and that was Smashing Pumpkins. Because I can hear a bit of Smashing Pumpkins, older stuff in some of Drenched music.
Yeah, I can definitely I can taste the pumpkin in some of our songs. That is for sure. Yeah, Tom's got a really, really good, really unique way of just pumping out songs that are all so fucking individual, but all have something in common and really just relay back, our inspirations and everything like that. It's kind of fucking crazy in all honesty. Like Joseph and Tom have been doing a majority of the writing for, well, the whole thing basically. And it's just fucked what they can just keep coming out with and how it sounds like some of our inspirations and the bands that we listen to and stuff like that, just with no fucking effort. It's pretty unreal, yeah.
Yeah, the Smashing Pumpkins is definitely a pretty big influence. I've like listened to them since I was a teenager. So even though I don't listen to them necessarily that much anymore, there's still that underlying influence. Like Silverchair is probably another band that's like that because when you're 15, you think that Silverchair is the coolest band ever. But yeah, we sort of when I write a song, I will liken it to the artists that have inspired me to write it, and that usually makes its way into the working title for the song. Like Slug, for example, was called Weezer Pumpkins. And I think Big Dream was also, I think its working title was Prump to start off with.
Yeah.
Joseph actually wrote the bones of that song, and I sort of constructed it, but it sounded very like one of Smashing Pumpkins is more like they're more hectic progressive songs like Geek USA or Silverfuck. And then I think that drew out to Sorry Mum, I Prumped It. And then another version of that was Sorry Mum, I Prumped It all the way to the fair.
Yeah. Don't know what that means, but
it's just then we just say, hey, we got to play Prump. And you know which song we're talking about.
We also had a song called working title is Hope Is Fall, which is pretty heavily inspired by Hope's Fall.
Mm-hmm.
And then one that we've just renamed, its working title was My Bloody Valentino. But now that's been appropriately renamed to The Tube.
Yes.
And I cannot fucking wait to release that song into the world. I've been with these guys for 5-6 years. We've done an album, 2 EPs, and a single, and like the Tube, man, oh man, I feel like that's gonna crap heads when that comes out.
Goes hard.
Yeah, it goes fucking hard as.
Can't wait.
Can't really describe it without giving it away. But just trust us, bro. It's good.
Just have to come to a fucking show.
Yeah, come to a show. Come when we play at the Tote or in Geelong or Bendigo. If you don't want to come to Tasmania to see us play, which is fair enough, but it's a long way to go.
Yeah, fuck that. Don't do it.
No, I'll be at the Tote. Yeah, I've already put in for leave that day, and it's already been approved.
Sick.
So
fuck yes, let's go.
Tote has some very, very good memories of interstate bands. Actually, almost argue the 3 best interstate bands I've seen live have all been at the Tote, funnily enough. So,
yeah, right.
I don't know what it is about it, but Heist and Zuko, and who was the other one? Well, those 2 were the obvious ones, and then who was the other band that's seen there from interstate? I can't remember, but it's just like the interstate bands seem to bring it at the Tote. Like, so do the Melbourne bands. Like, I saw Future Static there and North Road, and they were fucking awesome. So, yeah, it just has some really good memories, Tote.
Yeah, brilliant. I'm super keen to play the Tote.
Yeah.
It's really cool to, get over to Melbourne and play in these venues that you've heard about.
Yeah.
That, have such a massive, massive footprint in the music scene in Melbourne. And just getting to walk through those doors and to get on those stages, it's just fucking cool, man. This is small city boy stuff. I love it.
Yeah. We're just from the country.
Yeah.
So I feel that sometimes when I go to a gig, everyone's like, oh, I'm from Melbourne. Where are you from? Warragul. And they're like, where? And then you show them on the map. Oh, my God. I'm like, here we go.
Yeah, that's what it's like being from Tasmania.
Yeah.
It's okay when it's there's a Gippsland band on the lineup. So if they ask, oh, where are you from? You just say their neck of the woods.
Yeah, right.
Because so many people have said, oh, so Gippsland, your Ocean Sleeper territory? I'm like, all right, I'll just say yes, even though Sale's like an hour and a half from Warragul, but same neck of woods, so. But it's, yeah. But, yeah. Nah, I reckon regional Australia's producing some fucking good music, actually. I'd almost argue some even better than city bands. Not that.
Yeah. I mean, Victoria is the heart of live music in Australia. Melbourne City is just fucking skits for live music. So yeah, it's pretty understandable that Victoria's pumping out some really, really good music and good art.
But of course, there's great music from all regions of Australia, should I say? Can't get my words out tonight, can I?
Happens to the best of us, Sam.
All right. Well, Sam's actually really only got 2 more questions because I felt like we've covered so much stuff in the hour, which again doesn't feel like an hour.
No, it's gone awesome.
It's gone way too quick. Which band, if you had the chance to support anywhere in Australia, worldwide, who would it be?
Yeah, probably Yeah. Yeah,
hands down. They're one of the reasons that Drenched exists is because of Hum. So yeah. I mean, that's a pipe dream. I don't even know if they'll ever leave the US, but
well, I mean, they don't have a drummer anymore, so
yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah. Oh well, I mean, there's it would never happen just because of the genre crossovers and stuff. But I'd love to be on a bill or support someone like Opeth. That would be sick. I'm going to see Opeth in November with the missus just before our wedding, so that's going to be fucking sick. But yeah, I think Hum would definitely be the go for the band to support.
Or Opeth, heavy hitters of metal. That's well, you got to go to the top if it's international. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they are absolutely mind benders. Opeth.
Never seen them. There's not many bands I haven't seen. I've never seen Opeth live.
Yeah, well, it's going to be my first and probably last time, so I'm very excited. I'm going to take it all in like I'm a dry sponge in a sink.
It's an interesting comparison, but
suck it up, suck the sounds up.
So is that in Tassie, Alex, or is that?
No, it's over in Melbourne at the Palais Theatre in St Kilda.
Oh, yep. Is that the one next to Luna Park, or am I thinking of somewhere else?
Nah, it is real close to Luna Park, yeah.
Actually, I should know that, given I'm from Victoria, and also the Espy's not far from the Palais, so I should probably have known that before asking it.
Look, that's all right. Now we know.
Yeah. Or you could just get your trusty Google Maps out to find where the Palais is in comparison to Luna Park.
That's exactly right, yeah.
But sometimes Google Maps takes you in the wrong direction. Sometimes.
Yeah.
That's what they have the Melways for.
No, funny story about the toad, actually, and Google Maps. That's one place where it's telling me to go this way and that way to get to the toad, and I'm like, this isn't where it's meant to be going. So now I just get off at Victoria Park and just fucking walk to the tote from there. It's only like 10 minutes, but I know that route.
At least you get there.
Yeah, unlike this other one was take me to fucking, I don't know, other end of Johnston Street. Now, I know the toad is on Johnston Street in Melbourne, but it wasn't the fucking right end of Johnston Street.
Hopeless technology.
It's good to get the Foot Falcon out, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old Shoelace Express.
Yeah, that's the one. Yep.
But no, toad's pretty easy to get to. You won't have any issues finding it.
Yeah, we're pretty keen to play it.
Yeah, real keen.
Actually, I would almost, again, debatable, but I'd almost argue Johnston Street has the best venues in Melbourne, actually, because you got Tote, Bendigo, Bad Decisions. There's quite a few good ones in Johnston, but then Sydney Road has a couple of good ones as well.
Did we do the Bendy? Or
we've done the Bendy and Bad Decisions.
Yeah, Bad Decisions was cool as fuck.
That was sick.
Yeah. That was where we played with Shiloh's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good night.
No, I wasn't there. I saw you at Last Chance and not Penny Black. What was the other one?
The Retreat.
Sorry. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you came to the Last Chance and we played for you.
Now, if people are watching this, it was for the whole people that were there, not just me, obviously.
Apparently, we scare people with our music. They don't understand.
Especially on a Saturday afternoon at the last chance in June.
So that intrigues me though. Like people say, "Oh, I don't. Well, I want to go to gigs, but Saturday afternoon doesn't work." And like Saturday afternoon's the best because a 3 o'clock gig probably finishes at 5:45. You've still got all Saturday night to go out and do stuff. If it's an 8 o'clock show, yeah.
Nah. I love early gigs. They're my best friend in the world. There's nothing better than when the headliner finishes up around 8 o'clock latest. It's like, hell yeah, now I can go to bed at an appropriate time and have my 8 hours that I need. Hell yeah.
Yeah. No, I'd love that to be the case every time because everyone in the band say, "Oh, you'll be home before such and such." I'm like, yeah, most people will be if you live in Melbourne. You live in fucking regional Victoria, you ain't getting home by 11.
You'd be lucky. You'd be lucky.
Well, and also that's if you don't leave before the last band finishes as well. I mean, some venues, the last band doesn't finish till 12 or even 11:30.
Yeah, that's what it's like down here in Tassie. No one finishes early. It's all late nights, late starts.
And the last question is, what advice would you give to bands and artists starting out?
Don't do it.
Okay.
Look, something that it's a bit of a pet peeve of mine, and that's when a band launches themselves on social media. They make their Facebook page and their Instagram page and their TikTok and what have you, and they don't have any music. I don't care if it's a shitty recording that you did on your phone, but have something to show people. Otherwise, you're just liking a photo of a bunch of dudes, which is cool. Bunches of dudes are awesome. But if you're a band, I want to hear your music.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we started, we held off making Instagrams and stuff for ages because we didn't have any recordings and we didn't want to we didn't expect people to follow us if we didn't have something to show them. Which ironically actually upset a few people because they wanted to plug us for gigs and stuff, and we didn't have any for people to find us, which is the other side of the coin. But yeah, that's a bit of advice that I give. Doesn't matter if it's a shitty demo, just have something to show.
Well, and I think you have to, in some ways, have something to show because promoters, they're looking for bands' music on Spotify, YouTube, Bandcamp, SoundCloud, whatever the platform is. If you don't have something up there, you can't expect, promoters go, all right, let's take a punt on this band despite having no recordings.
That's exactly right.
That is, of course, coming from someone who has no experience in the band situation. I mean, Alex and Tom do. Sam has none of it.
Yeah. I mean, for advice, for me, I would say have fun. Don't get involved with bald men that wear glasses. And it's going to cost you fucking money, and you've just got to deal with that.
Yeah. Yep.
If you want to do anything in a band, it's going to cost you an arm and a fucking leg. I reckon I've spent probably $10,000 on gear since I started buying stuff, and then I put thousands into my previous bands before I joined Drenched. And with Drenched, I've also put in a lot of money. And it's just you got to be prepared for that, and you can't complain about it because if you're going to complain about it, don't fucking do it.
Yeah, you got to love it.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Don't expect to make any money from it.
And if you do, be very grateful.
Yeah.
We're so grateful for it. Yeah, do it for the heart and the soul, not the money.
Yes, money. I mean, yes, Sam, stay off that topic and Spotify because it's been done to death. But yeah, I think everyone knows what we mean by don't do it for the money.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's all for the love and the art.
If you love it, and when you're playing, you look like you love it, then that means you're putting on a show.
I was going to say you're doing it right.
Yeah, you're doing that's the correct way to do it.
Yeah.
I think also people generally pick up within probably a minute, 2 minutes into a gig if the band's enjoying what they're doing because they're, bouncing around, the fans are singing back to the band. Like, I see that happen a lot, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really important as well to do it with people that you gel with. Do it with people that are very like-minded because, if you've got one bad egg in the bunch, then they can fuck everything for everybody,
It's a bit like being in a relationship.
It is. Yes. Yeah. It costs money and you're fucking stuck.
And I'm not going to mention band names, but in the last 6 months or so, there have been a few in Australia where shit has hit the fan. But for disclaimer reasons, I will not mention those bands. But
yeah, it's unfortunate, but you know what? Fuck them.
Some others do have them, as they say.
That was a good show. That was a really good show.
It's also a good song by a band called Reuben.
Excellent.
Yeah, if you want to listen to a cool underground post-hardcore band from the UK from the early 2000s.
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, that's my recommendation.
Shit, I'm learning a lot of stuff in this hour and 12 minutes about what happened.
You always learn things when you come to Drenched shows. We don't shy away from delivering some facts while we're playing live.
There was I think a couple of years ago, because I'm a gardener and I run my own gardening business now. I used to throw facts about growing vegetables and stuff from seeds to people and what to plant at what time of the year, and then I get off stage and people come up to me and go, "Is that true?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" They're just about the tomatoes and stuff. I'm like, "Oh yeah, fuck yeah, do it." Yeah, so everyone walks over with a good piece of information. Yeah.
Oh, you learn lessons and you get to see a good band live.
Yeah,
two for the price of one.
That's right.
Oh, so yeah, if you are not doing anything, get along to the Drenched Shylocks tour later this year. Well, actually, it's not later this year. It's only 3 months away. Fuck.
September.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're playing Launceston, Hobart, and that is on the 13th and 14th. And then on the 18th, we're playing of September, I mean. And then on the 18th, we're playing. So 19th, we're playing at the Medusa Bar. No, that's in Geelong. That's on the Saturday.
Jesus, Tom, get your story straight.
I don't have the tour poster in front of me, and there's a lot of dates for little old me. Bendigo, I think it's Bendigo Records in Bendigo, and then the Medusa Bar in Geelong on the Friday and Saturday. Always Shylocks and other supports to be announced.
Ooh. Hum?
Serious.
Nah.
Oh, I wish. Yeah, they're gonna fly over from Champaign, Illinois, and play a set.
Yeah.
Alpha Wolf? Nah. Maybe we're getting our hopes up a bit too.
Hey, there is a non-zero chance that Alpha Wolf will be playing the show. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a high chance, but it's non-zero.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of local up-and-coming bands that have supported big names that I never thought I'd see it actually happen. And that's not disrespecting the local up-and-coming bands, but, I mean, Future Static from Melbourne supported Ginger a couple of years ago when they were here for Good Things, which is huge. I mean, look at a band like Atlas from Gippsland. They supported Barry Tomorrow last year. I mean, it's not exactly what you know, but who you know in the music scene.
Yeah, we haven't played that many supports for touring bands.
No, we've done like Forklift Assassins and someone else.
Screen Feeder, we supported them a couple of years ago, but that was absolute last minute ringing because the band they wanted to have them support pulled out. We supported Crywank earlier this year.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was a cool. Yeah, we played acoustic set for them, and that was cool.
The old Forkies.
Yeah, they're fun boys.
He's a bit of a character, old Michael. I mean, fucking.
I'll tell you what, they don't shy away from a can or two.
No. Oh my god! And look, if Michael is actually watching this isn't a diss at him, but fuck, give him a microphone for 5 seconds behind the drums, and you'll hear a fucking life story, literally. Nah, Michael, that wasn't a diss at you. I love the Forklift Assassins guys, but I mean, yeah, I give him shit every time I see him at a gig, and he just gives it back. He's like, "Why do you keep coming to our gigs?" I'm like, "Well, because I know you want me there."
Because I'm fucking paying you, motherfucker.
All right, well, all the questions have been asked to Alex and Tom. Now, what was said earlier in the interview is if Tom and Alex had anything they wanted to ask Sam, now is the time.
How big is it?
Oh. I was not expecting. Oh my god.
Nah. Just message me that personally.
Well, that's probably topped the most weird question I've ever been asked, actually. But
all right. Well, what is the weirdest thing you've ever been asked? I think that's a pretty good question.
I like that question. I think the weirdest thing. There's two answers to this. One, the weirdest thing I've ever been asked, not involving food, was if I'd ever received a cinema wristy, meaning a hand job at a cinema.
Yep. Classic.
Oh yeah, cool. Into popcorn.
Yeah.
And the other one was, of course, pineapple on or off pizza. That was pretty
on.
Yeah.
On. Yeah. On. Send it.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, they were pretty funny, and the sort of two questions I was sort of like, wasn't expecting what I didn't expect that those were the questions to be asked, but this is an interview. I've got to expect some sort of crazy question.
Oh, I got another one. Actually, this could be a cool question. Do you have anything like any possessions like from your childhood?
Any possession,
like your favorite toys and stuff. Like, for instance, this is my cow that I've had for 30 years. He's 30 fucking years old. I got him when I was born. So there's that.
Any possessions? Well, not sort of so much from my childhood, but in the last 20 or so years, I don't know if you could see over my shoulder there, there's actually a painting near the door handle.
Yeah.
That, you wouldn't believe, is a painting that Missy Higgins did.
No way.
Cool.
Now, my cousin...
Cool.
Bloody Melissa strikes again.
My cousin used to live with Missy Higgins' brother or sister. If she watches this, she'll probably say, wrong answer, Sam. But some relation to Missy Higgins. And Missy Higgins had done that painting and said, here it is, Rach. And Rach has just handed it on to me. So I've had that pretty much almost 20 years.
That's cool as fuck. Hell yeah.
And I think, I mean, probably, like, at that stage, Missy Higgins wasn't huge, as she is now, obviously. I think it was just after Scar or Special 2 were released, and then, well, now she's in the ARIA Hall of Fame.
Yeah, yeah, she's massive.
I like that second part, though, Alex. That's a question I've actually never been asked about the collection. Prize things.
Childhood, yeah.
Yeah, childhood.
Yeah.
Childhood a long time ago for Sam, by the way, if that didn't give away his age.
I'm still going through it. Weird.
All right, Sam, what's the spookiest thing you've seen happen at a gig?
The spook.
The spookiest.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like that question, and I've been to a lot of gigs and seen some pretty
That's why I'm asking.
weird,
You've seen some shit.
fucked up shit. It's not spooky in a sense of scary. I think it's just spooky as it's something you wouldn't see generally in a mosh pit. This happened at Unify 5 or 6 years ago. A fucking game of Uno was happening in the middle of a fucking mosh pit.
That's so sick.
That's fucking awesome. I was so expecting to say I saw a baby being born or something, but that's so much cooler.
It's just like, why aren't we moshing and just standing around and there's fucking 7 or 8 people playing a game of Uno?
Man, imagine doing a circle pit around that, and every time they throw a reverse card, they reverse the circle pit.
Or the two-step. Imagine a two-step playing, like, while playing Uno, so in reverse, your feet are going backwards instead of forwards.
That would go so hard.
That'd be awesome.
Maybe that's an idea for the upcoming Drenched shows. We should have a Uno game going on and people doing the two-step or Wall of Death or whatever shit people do in the mosh pit these days. And
challenge accepted.
Yeah. I'd be so stoked if someone just, whipped out Uno or Monopoly or Cluedo in the mosh and just set up and started having a game. That'd be so cool.
I don't think I'd be able to play. I'd have to fucking play with them.
Get too invested.
Yeah, I'd miss out. That looks like fun. I want to do that.
Or imagine a game of Twister in the mosh pit.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's like move to blue, such and such, and then mosh.
That would be awesome. You're giving me some really good ideas for this tour, Sam.
Yeah.
Oh, no, shit. And this is going to be up on YouTube, and they'll be like, Sam said to create these memories.
You've locked it in, man. Yeah. They're already in creation.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, no, I've seen some pretty spooky, some funny shit as well at live music. But generally, most of the people that go to live music, generally, I'm not a mosher. I'm a chicken shit. If anyone hasn't already realised, I'm at the back watching the band.
You stand at the back with your arms crossed, don't you? Like this.
No, sometimes.
That's what I do.
It depends on the venue and it depends on the band and the crowd. Like, if the crowd look like they're just being dickheads and not crowd killing, but making a dick of themselves, but just having fun, then obviously I'll go near it. But that's probably my pet peeve in the music industry. Like, I know there's the debate and, if you're near the mosh pit and people are throwing arms and all that, you're in technically the mosh and all that, but the whole crowd killing shit. I mean, fuck off. Like,
yeah, nah, none of that, please. I want to enjoy the show, not end up in hospital.
Have fun, be respectful.
Yeah. And but obviously there's differing opinions on what crowd killing involves, and this happened a couple of weeks ago at Ocean Sleeper and Heists at 170 Russell. They're like one guy out of the whole crowd, which was God knows how many people in 170, one crowd killer out of the whole crowd, and you think, what a fuckwit. Like, everyone else was behaving themselves.
Yeah, it's just dumb. Some people are just fucking stupid like that.
But yeah, but 90% of the people I've moshed or been at a gig with have been completely fine.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. You just got to enjoy yourself and not put others in danger.
And try and walk into venues without people noticing you, which Sam is finding that even more difficult now due to WebEx.
Oh, and you've made a massive name for yourself, dude. So, you know, I mean, everyone always fucking says it, but everything that you do is so highly appreciated and sought after as well, because there's not people like you around that do what you do. So, nah, man, every single word, every post, every share, every like is so
really awesome. It means a lot to us.
No,
yeah, it does.
And I didn't realise it for so long. Does it actually mean a lot to the bands? But now I'm saying actually it fucking does.
Yeah, man.
I mean, like Tom and I are just two fucking human people, and you're a human person, and like for us to connect in, you know, the way of art and communicate over art and stuff like that, and develop an actual friendship and everything from that, like that's huge. Like that's fucking sweet. Hell yeah.
And I've loved that I've got to catch up with you guys in Melbourne and over WebEx. And like every interview I've done, this is no exception. I've had the best fucking time. Honestly.
Yeah, it's been good.
Fun as fuck, man. I've loved it. Absolutely.
It's just gone too quick, but again, that's a good sign. That's a very good sign if it's gone too quick, because I feel like we only just got on.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's been an hour and a half.
Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yes.
That's right.
what they say.
That is.
Yeah, with the boys.
With the boys.
If anyone sees my, when I'm talking, my lips look like they're sort of fading out a bit, but my audio's fine. I think my picture at times it looks like I'm out of line, but outside of that, I mean, it's better to hear my audio. Honestly, I wouldn't want to look at my own face, but
shit.
But yeah, your visual and audio has been perfect. So all I have to do now is just watch it back, and yeah,
sweet,
cool,
awesome as fuck.
Yeah. Well, this is the only part of the interview I don't like. Is the end.
Oh.
but it is a wake night, and obviously
it's school night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Alex and Tom from Drenched, it's been a fucking awesome time, as it always is.
Oh yeah.
Always so good to catch up with you, Sam.
Yeah, love your work. Thanks for everything you do, man.
No worries. I'll always support Drenched any way I can. Man.
We'll always support Sam.
And I'm so keen to catch up in a few months' time. And I say a few months' time, but the way this year's going, it'll be a few weeks' time.
It's tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, we're actually playing yesterday.
Yeah. So. You missed us, Sam. What the hell?
Shit, I've got to go back in time.
Yeah, it's 2027. Where were you?
Actually, just on a note of where was I, or another spooky or funny thing happened at Stay Gold. This is a few years ago. Mate's band was coming down from Queensland, and he tags me in a post actually at the venue and goes, "Sam Horner, where are you? I'm here. Are you trying to avoid me?" And someone posts underneath and goes, "He's probably hiding from you."
Oh, he's trying to out you.
Got him.
And I'm like, "Oh, I've beaten him," and then I walk outside and I'm like, "Oh, crap."
Oh, gee.
But nah, Stay Gold's one of those venues. Unless you go in disguise, I don't think you could get around not someone noticing who you are. Because either way, from Jewel Station or from Tram Stop, you're going to come past Ollie's Pizza plus the benches where everyone sits outside.
Yeah. Well, it's not a bad thing, though.
Nah. Oh, all right. Tom and Alex from Drenched. It's been an awesome chat. I'm sure we'll talk before September, obviously.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
And I'll send you the link once I've uploaded it to YouTube, and feel free to share it around, watch it back, pick out everything Sam's done wrong. I do that all the time.
Nothing. You've done nothing wrong.
Perfect.
Well, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening. Stay warm, as it is quite cold, both here in Victoria and Australia.
Oh, fuck yeah.
We'll catch up again soon.
All right,
Awesome
thanks,
sauce,
mate.
man.
No worries.
Thanks so much for having us. Much love, my friend.
See you later.
See you, Tom. See you, Alex.